Hi, Collective. It's Tan from Artemis Oracle. I hope you're having a great day. I just clocked out of work and I just want to get in an energy check in or just see what comes out. Today is April 9th, 2025. So I'm going to put some music on right now because I need something. Okay, so I hope you're doing well and staying safe. In New York, it's cold. It's so cold. Yes. So let's see what comes out. Soar. Okay, wow. This card soared right out of the deck. You're being asked to stop dimming your own light, period. It's time for you to come out of the shadows and let your authentic self soar. Fly high, dear one. I feel like the past few readings have been like that. It's been telling us that we need to let ourselves shine, that we shouldn't hide ourselves anymore, and that if there's anything else that you need to, that you're working on, that you're doing, that's a goal, it's keep going. Don't give up. Keep going. It says it may feel as though you've been on this path or journey for so long, and you may even wonder if you're making any progress toward your dreams. This message is a loving reminder for you to keep going. You're almost there. Like yesterday's reading, it was like the energy was someone's at the tail end of something that they're working on, they're creating. Okay, let's see. Surrender. You're being asked to let go of your need to control each part of your life. I, as a Scorpio, understand this completely. It's important for us to go with the flow, especially when it's something that we care so deeply about. And we have like this, we envision a certain outcome for it. But sometimes, like I mentioned in the reading before, that the outcome we envision isn't the greatest outcome. It could be even better than we can ever imagine. So I think that this is asking for you just to surrender. Stop trying to control everything. There's, you have to go with the flow, You have to go with the flow and reassess if necessary. You're being asked to take stock of your life and let go of anything or anyone that no longer makes you happy. Notice who and what brings you joy and who and what don't. It's time for some life cleanup. Yeah, this is about decluttering your life, reassessing the value of people in your life and things in your life. What brings you joy, what brings you sorrow, what inspires you, and what holds you back. What's the opposite of inspire? I can't even think of the opposite of inspire, but yeah. Just allow things to flow. Go with the flow. You're being asked to open your energy field and take down your walls of protection in order to allow goodness into your life. I think that when we're holding on so tightly to something or someone, that we're not letting things be natural. We're forcing people or things to act a certain way. Things that don't necessarily allow an organic unfolding of things, of circumstances, I got stuck because I'm thinking flow, the way the trajectory is supposed to go, but then it's like you're trying to steer the ship, you're being resistant to what it's supposed to be. But sometimes you have to let go of the reins, but also you have to put down the boundaries. And I think that it's to a certain extent. I don't think we should completely make ourselves vulnerable to the point that we can be attacked in some way. I don't think it's that. I think it's just opening ourselves up to different things, different outcomes, going with the flow. I keep saying that, going with the flow. Maybe some of you are on your cycle, which is possible, It's safe to open yourself up. Do not block anything. So if there's something or someone that you have been assessing their value in your life or its value in your life, if it's something that does bring you happiness, but you're saying that you're resistant to it in some way, you have to put down the boundaries. Because if it's something that you feel like could be good to you or good for you, you don't want to get in the way of what can unfold. And I think that's what I was trying to say. How things would naturally unfold. You know, don't try to control things. Release control, release what it is that you've been holding on so tightly to. Like, what doesn't serve you. It could be a habit, it could be a thought, it can be a behavior, it can be a person, it could be an environment, it could be anything. You know, you have to let go. You're being asked to release any toxic people or situations from your life. You deserve to be free of all drama, and this is the first step to achieving that. And I think that sometimes we can be the creators of our own drama, especially when we have certain mindsets. So whatever mindsets you're having, you have to release that. You have to release the negative mindsets, the self-limiting mindsets, because those limitations, you know, holding on, you know, not surrendering, not releasing, not allowing, is going to block you from keep going, from moving forward, you know. Yeah, you can't fly with concrete shoes on, you know. You're gonna be weighed down. It's gonna be a heavy burden for you, you know. You're gonna have to release the burden, especially if the burden is something that you can release. I know there's certain things that are certain responsibilities that we can't release, you know, especially if we're parents or our job requires us to. But then if that's the case, it may be time for you to ask for help, you know. Surrender to the idea that you can do everything on your own and allow people to help you, you know. Reassess what is allowing or is contributing to your life heading in a positive direction, or what's hindering you in some way. Yeah, that's the advice for this reading. Let me see, is there anything else? Yeah, I think I'm gonna leave it there. So if there's something that you're holding on to, you know, this is the energy. You may be holding on to something, but in order for you to reach new heights, to ascend, and or keep going, moving upward, having an upward trajectory, it's time for you to surrender the thought that you can do everything on your own, and thinking that is a way of holding on to control. And I know this because I like things to be done a certain way. But does it matter if it's done a certain way or that it's done? That's something you have to ask yourself. You know, is it worth having all the burden or the responsibility on your shoulders just so you can get it right? Or is it better for it to just get done? To ask for help. You know, not everything has to be perfect. Maybe that's something you have to release. Release the thought that you have to be perfect. That things have to be a certain way for it to be right. For you to check your box. Like, oh, that's done. Maybe sometimes things need to just get done, but not be done where you're like, you know, like you want to control every moving part. Like you want it to be perfect. You know, you're nitpicking and you're just focusing and hyper-focused. If you're hyper-focused, maybe that's something you have to release. You know? Surrender. Free yourself from this. Release it. Release it. Because once you do that, you're going to be able to soar. You see, these hands have a bird. If you're holding on to that bird ain't going nowhere. It's just going to be stuck in your hands. You know? You need to release. Let it go. You know, let your mind flow. Let's see what comes out of your mind. What you can create. What ideas you can create. You know, once you release the idea that you have control over everything, you're going to be able to look at things from a different perspective and also look at things from a creative point of view. You know, you're going to be opening up yourself to new possibilities. You're going to allow yourself to see things and do things, approach things, and even be different yourself. And that is probably what's going to allow abundance to flow into you, you know? Remember I said the checkbox? Check in. Yeah, this is a time to like check in and reassess. Reassess what works and what doesn't work, you know? And this is a process. This is such a fucking process because, you know, like when you're so used to being in control, it's hard to like, it's like you have to test the waters and you see what works for you, because we're all so different, you know. We could, some of us can just like, okay, whatever. Like, but for me, I hate this. Scorpio, being a Scorpio is not a personality trait, but there are some qualities that a Scorpios have, and everybody has Scorpio in your chart because it's the 8th house of the charts, the houses, and the astral wheel. So we all have Scorpio in our chart, but I have Scorpio in my chart. Like, I have 4 placements of Scorpio. So, like for me, I lost my train of thought. It's like all or nothing for me. Like, I don't do things half-assed. It's like, it's either going to be the best or it's just gonna, I'm not doing it. That's it. I'm doing it and it's going to be the best, or I'm not doing it at all. It's not like, oh, no. I always do the best I can. But sometimes there's certain things that you just don't have to do your best. You just have to just do it, you know? Because when you are thinking, oh, I have to do it the best, then that means you're overthinking. You're over strategizing. You just stop, you know? You're not going to release it. Release. So if that's you, this is your reading. Okay, I hope this helps you. My name is my name is Tan from Artemis Oracle. Thank you so much for watching. And I also wanted to put it in here that my goal, I have a goal of reaching 500 subscribers. As a Scorpio, I swear, is that a personality trait? It's hard for me to ask for help. It's hard for me to ask for support. But this is something that I really care about, and I would love to see growth in. I've given up on myself so many times before, but this is something that I really enjoy doing, and it really is part of my healing. And I hope that along the way I can help heal other people. So my first goal, I already reached my first goal of getting 100 subscribers. My next goal is to get 500. So I hope that if you vibe with me in any way, I would really appreciate if you share my channel, if you subscribe, you like, comment. It would mean the world to me. It does mean the world to me whenever I see someone subscribe, because that means someone is resonating with me in some way, or at least resonating with the content that I'm sharing. So if that's you, please like, share, subscribe, and I wish you all the best. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful evening ahead, wherever you are, day ahead, wherever you are, afternoon ahead. Just have a wonderful anything. All right, take care. Bye.